Wrestling fans have been left wondering what surprises the debut episode of AEW Collision will hold. This after the Wrestling Observer recently reported that an appearance from CM Punk isn't the only debut or return set to take place at the United Center this weekend. With the current state of play in all Elite Wrestling and the pro wrestling world surrounding it, there are many possibilities as to what Tony Khan has up his sleeve, with the AEW president no doubt looking to kick off his new Saturday night show with a bang. So with that said, let's take a look at what surprises we could see on the debut episode of AEW Collision. As we anticipate who could be one of the surprises on the show, one name that we do know will be in attendance is Miro, who has been heavily advertised to be at the United Center on June 17th. However, there is a chance that he could be joined by somebody familiar from his time in WWE. Right now, Miro's real-life wife and former manager, Lana, real name CJ Perry, remains on the free agency market following her WWE release in June 2021, but they're taking a break from the business ever since. God's favorite champion has made several references to CJ throughout his time in AEW, with this reset perhaps the ideal time to introduce her as an on-screen character as part of his act, with her words being Miro's guiding light to victory in the next chapter of his career. Now let's move on to somebody that could potentially be set to return to AEW rather than a debut. Former Inner Circle member Santana hasn't been seen on AEW television since June 2022 and the Blood and Guts match of that month. During the Battle of Factions, Santana would land awkwardly on his leg, suffering from a serious injury in the process, an injury that has kept him out of action ever since. In recent weeks, he's continued to send out cryptic posts on social media, as well as a two-part video series titled The Reconstruction, highlighting the Rican in Puerto Rican, with him being shown traveling across New York City on the subway system before arriving at a high school gym. Whilst it's possible that Santana is teasing free agency, with his AEW contract having originally been set to expire this year, it's also possible that time was added onto his deal thanks to time missed due to injury, with his next trip perhaps being a flight from New York to Chicago for a singles run on Collision. One key part of the debut episode of Collision will be Bullet Club Gold, with Juice Robinson and Jay White set to headline the show, teaming with Samoa Joe to take on CM Punk and FTR. Last week on AEW Dynamite, the Guns would aid Switchblade to victory over Ricky Starks, and whilst they are yet to be inducted as official members of BCG, it seems likely that will happen in the weeks ahead and perhaps this Saturday. With that said, Colton and Austin might not be the only ones being added to the group. Right now, there are many potential candidates for a spot, including those already on the AEW roster or even in New Japan, as well as on the free agency market. Whether it be Tama Tonga, Lance Archer, or even Brian Pillman Jr., there's a chance that we could see some new names added this Saturday night. There's also one other obvious candidate to join the faction, although we'll get to them later on. And before we continue, do you want to win a free copy of the upcoming AEW Fight Forever video game? Well, from now until June 22nd, 1 week before the official release date, I'll be running a giveaway with the winner receiving a free copy of Fight Forever for their chosen console. All you have to do is drop a like on this video, subscribe to WrestlePlanet with notifications turned on, and leave a comment with the word Forever alongside your chosen console, and a winner will be picked at random on June 22nd. Make sure you do include the word Forever, as this will help me find all of the comments for the draw. So subscribe with notifications turned on, drop a like on this video, comment your chosen console with the word Forever for a chance at winning AEW Fight Forever. Whilst there does appear to be an impending return or debut set for the show, that doesn't necessarily mean there will only be one surprise on the night. Ever since September 2022 and the events that followed All Out, wrestling fans have been divided on their feelings towards CM Punk, with many feeling that he was unprofessional and solely responsible for the brawl that ensued that night, whilst others feel that the media scrum and the fight inside his locker room was a reaction rather than him being the cause. Whichever side of the fence you stand on, the disdain that has grown on one side is perhaps an opportunity to generate some cash. Throughout his career, CM Punk's best work has usually taken place as a heel, whether it be the Ring of Honor Summer of Punk that saw him turn on the fans after winning the ROH World Championship before signing his WWE contract on the belt, a belt that he was holding hostage, or whether it be arguably The Undertaker's greatest WrestleMania feud that saw Punk take advantage of the real-life death of Paul Bearer to generate incredible heat towards him. him. And let's not forget the Straight Edge Society. There's no question that he would do wonders with the material that he has at his fingertips in the current landscape, so maybe one of the Collision surprises will see CM Punk turn heel in some form or fashion, embracing the hate in the process. A recent report from Fightful Select revealed that one name that was discussed to be part of the upcoming Forbidden Door show was Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks in WWE. These talks would then come to a screeching halt after she suffered from a reported broken ankle in the recent tournament finals for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship, with a call being made mid-match for Willow Nightingale to leave with the belt instead. Moné herself would later reveal that she is currently in recovery following surgery to fix the issue, seemingly ruling her out of contention for both Collision and Forbidden Door. With that said, there is a chance that we're being worked by Mercedes, whose injury may not be as bad as it's being made out to be, although we should put this one in the unlikely category for now. There still remains a 5%-ish chance that she could make her AEW debut this Saturday to set up a match at the Forbidden Door, although again, the odds are slim at best. Another potential New Japan-themed debut could come in the form of Kota Ibushi, who is a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion and was once dubbed as the next ace of the company. However, following his injury during the G1 Climax Finals in 2021, Ibushi hasn't been seen inside an NJPW ring since, with him officially classed as a free agent following the expiration of his contract earlier this year. Whilst there is reportedly an offer on the table for a return to New Japan, Ibushi has stated that an AEW debut, and more specifically, a Golden Lovers reunion with Kenny Omega is his priority, meaning the Golden Star could easily join the Elite in their battle with the Blackpool Combat Club. Whilst Omega and the Young Bucks are pretty much exclusive to AEW Dynamite for now, perhaps we could see an announcement or tease of Ibushi from the promotion this Saturday ahead of the final episode of Dynamite before the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. And speaking of free agents, another name at the top of the list is former WCW World and WWE Universal Champion Goldberg. Ever since news broke that his WWE contract had come to an end at the start of the year, fans have long speculated that he could be AEW bound in time for All in London this summer, with there still being room to draw more fans inside Wembley Stadium. It would take a big name to add to the 65,000 tickets already sold, and you don't get much bigger than Big Bill. Adding to that speculation, AEW President Tony Khan would recently be asked if he's held talks with Goldberg during his free agency, a question that was met with a grin before Khan revealed that he has spoken to him, although he refused to disclose the nature of the conversations. The lack of denial only pours fuel on the rumor fire, and there isn't a more fitting place for Goldberg to become all elite than the first episode of AEW Collision, a show that so blatantly shares an aesthetic with WCW Nitro. For the past 9 months, there's been a huge elephant in the room whenever a press conference or an interview has been held with Tony Khan, who has refused to comment on the situation surrounding CM Punk and the Elite. The two parties were of course involved in a backstage brawl at AEW All Out that saw everyone involved suspended, with NDAs and potential legal action preventing even the slightest official comments on what went down that night. During this weekend's episode of AEW Dynamite, CM Punk would tease that he has a lot of things he needs to get off his chest and some scores to settle. The question is, will he mention Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, or Brawl Out? If he did, it would no doubt surprise many, with everyone involved being tight-lipped until this point. Even more surprising would be an appearance from the Elite in CM Punk's hometown, kickstarting the feud that we're all waiting for. However, that feels almost impossible at this point. Exactly 8 days after the debut episode of Collision is the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, a show that will pit New Japan Pro-Wrestling and All Elite Wrestling's finest against each other in the second annual crossover event. A recent report from Fightful revealed that whilst not finalized, plans have been discussed internally that would see Kenta as a possible opponent for CM Punk. This after a war of words between the two that's lasted for longer than a decade. Of course, Kenta is the inventor of the GTS, a move made popular by CM Punk upon his debut in WWE. Ever since Punk appeared in AEW, Kenta has once again taken aim at the man that he feels stole his move, with him more recently stating he's open to the match only if the money was right. In reality, it appears that we're closer than ever to the dream match between the two stars, and with AEW Collision set to be headlined by a match that will see CM Punk and FTR take on Samoa Joe and Bullet Club Gold's Jay White and Juice Robinson, don't be shocked to see the night close with White and Juice's BC WWE ally sending Punk to sleep to set up a match at the Forbidden Door, a door that Kenta kicked down to begin with back in February 2021. All Elite Wrestling have announced a brand new weekly television show, Collision, and I'm about to show you how AEW can use this opportunity to build towards the rivalry that we're all craving for.